Hello everyone and welcome to my Pecha Kucha. My name is Nicholas Scorman. I am a motorcycle enthusiast. I'm going to tell you today why I think you should and should not have a motorcycle. It's a lot of good reasons. Mostly it's because it's a man's truest freedom. You'll never be more free than being on a motorcycle on the road. First off, make sure you get your license. It's actually not that difficult. If you go to the DMV, they're going to require you to take the test and you have to do it in front of them. It's going to be really nerve-wracking. What I suggest is go to your local, anywhere on Google, and usually at some abandoned mall, there's going to be a place to help you get your license. You just practice there and pay them like $100. Second part, make sure you get gear. Very, very important. Road rash is not fun, but most importantly, make sure you get a helmet. It only takes about 17 miles an hour without a helmet to give you a concussion. I mean, that's it, and game over. Your life's over at that point. So make sure you wear gear. There are a lot of different types of motorcycles. I personally have a sport bike, so the Ninja, the fast ones, but there's cruisers as well, so more comfortable for touring. Also, there's little mopeds. It depends on your style. I personally like sport bikes. Different types of sizes of motorcycles as well. Mine's a 250, but I like to save gas. So 250 will get you about 70 miles to the gallon. Anything higher than that is going to keep going down. A 50cc, so your little mopeds, you actually don't even need a license for, and they get a ridiculous amount of gas mileage. They're also fun. Your first bike, that's my first bike, that's Violet. Make sure the first bike that you buy, you don't really care about, because you're going to wreck it. I destroyed that bike after about a year and a half of having it. So make sure you buy a bike that you don't really care about, although I really did care about her. But nobody showed me this Pecha Kucha. Your first ride. You want to make sure you understand the bike that you have. They all have personality. My first one was Violet. The one that I have now is Umbreon. Yes, a Pokemon name. They all have different personalities. You want to feel your bike. You want to know how they feel when you're on them, if that makes sense. First clean, very important. It gets you acclimated with your motorcycle. As you can tell, it's probably not as muddy as the one in the picture, but it's good to know your bike inside and out, if that makes sense. This thing's going to eventually save your life or kill you, so you might as well know it as much as you could. Advanced techniques. Do not wear slippers. Do not put your feet on top of the motorcycle. Honestly, don't do any tricks. I've popped a wheelie twice on accident. And it was really cool, but it was terrifying, and I'm not going to do it again. I'd rather stay alive. Weather has a lot to do with everything on a motorcycle. It's been raining for a month now here in Texas. It's important that you drive differently depending on the weather. A lot of times you can have a nice day, but if it's rainy, make sure you have the gear at least as well. Surfaces play a huge part in how you ride a motorcycle. Sand is probably your worst enemy. Going 5 miles an hour, if you turn the wheel slightly and put on your brakes in sand, you're going to fall. That's it. Water is a little bit less. You want to make sure it's dry outside, or know how to drive at least. Turning can look like this. It's very possible. Sometimes on the highway I'll do it. I'm a little bit of a speed chaser or a speed racer. I personally love turning at speeds like this, but you want to try to stay away from that because you'll scratch your knees badly. I always normally look like this your first time you get on. They're not that bad. I mean, the first time is terrifying, going 70 miles an hour and you've got this, like there's no doors around you. It actually turns into something that you really enjoy to do. Cruising on a highway at 70 miles an hour it's relieving. Make sure you get the practice in, though. If you don't have the practice, you're going to fall. You're not going to be comfortable on the bike. You're going to be afraid of everything. Make sure every chance that you get, you do practice with your motorcycle. I'm on my bike every day. I know Umbreon. That's Umbreon, by the way. With the gears and the gas mileage, like I said before, I get about 70 to 80 miles to the gallon, depending on if I've pumped up my tires. They're all going to be manual, so you might want to learn how to drive a manual before getting on a motorcycle. I wrecked the first time I got on one. Maintenance is very important. As you can tell, I have done nothing with my chain in a while, but if you don't lube up your chain, it could eventually snap one day. If you don't put oil in it, Umbreon's very temperamental. If you don't put oil in her at the specific time, she literally will not turn on. She hates not having the right amount of oil in. Accidents are bound to happen. I've been in far too many to recall. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little dot on my elbow right there that wouldn't stop bleeding for a week. You're going to get in accidents no matter what. It's going to happen. It's a part of motorcycle life. But be prepared and wear your gear. Your clerical remedies for if you get into an accident are the important things to know. It took me 3 accidents and finally the demise of my first motorcycle to realize that Epsom salt and a hot soak in a bath is the best thing you'll ever do. Road rash is very uncomfortable, and that'll fix it. A couple things you need to know. Do not let other people ride your bike. They will probably wreck it. That is the first time, that picture right there is the first time I ever let my wife ride my bike. And she dropped the bike. The first time. So make sure you trust the people or don't care about your bike. I personally recommend getting a motorcycle. There's a lot more information to go over than 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but personally I say go for it. Just be protected and don't be as cocky as the guy in that picture. And I fare you well on your motorcycle journey.